Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's What's Up Wednesday. Today, I'm joined by our friends Brigid and Amber with Cooking Matters. They're going to be doing some food demos for us and covering what all you can use as meat substitutes during these times of food shortages and some credentialing tips and things like that. So, hi, you two. Welcome back and thanks for joining today.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Hi, everyone. Thanks.
All right. So, kick us off, just for anyone who's new to the series, briefly explain your roles and who Cooking Matters is.
Yeah, so Cooking Matters works in communities across the country to help parents and caregivers develop their skills when shopping for and cooking for healthy foods on a budget. Brigid and I are both based in Colorado. So I focus on our Cooking Matters for childcare professionals classes, which used to be 8 hours long on Saturdays. We would get to cook with childcare providers all over the state of Colorado. Now that looks like 1 and 2 hour sessions online, which we offer through the Colorado Shines PDIS system, which we'll talk about a bit later as well. But we're offering those all online across the state.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks for that overview. So if we want to kick us off, if you want to start the demo, otherwise we'll be kind of walking through kind of where to begin with those substituting for meat products and what you need, kind of where to find that when things are pricey or not available in the store.
Awesome. I'm going to switch my camera over here so we can take a look at my stovetop. I have a little bit of oil in this pan, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat on to heat it up a little. So today I'm actually taking a Cooking Matters recipe and I'm substituting the meat in it to something that is easily available to me and is quite affordable. So our turkey tacos recipe, which you can find on our Android app, on our website, I'm going to be doing tofu and beans instead of turkey. So you can see here, if you've never used tofu before, this is tofu wrapped in a paper towel. You can see the paper towel is super soggy. If you've never worked with tofu before, it is super important to kind of get as much moisture out as possible. This big piece of tofu says it serves 5, and the entire pack was $1.50. So that's pretty awesome. All I did was I took it out of the package. I wrapped it in a paper towel. You can see all that liquid that comes out. And then I put it on a cutting board and I pressed it. I put a plate on top with a little bit of weight. I mean, you could use a book or a pan or anything that you have handy. I'm going to give it one more little squeeze while my pan is heating up. And the reason why you want to get the moisture out is because if there's too much moisture, just like with mushrooms, you might get a spongy, weird texture. So if you really pat out a lot of that moisture, it's going to give it a much more pleasant and palatable texture while you're eating it. And you can cook tofu a bunch of different ways. You can bake it in the oven. You could cut it into squares and bake it or pan-sear it. But what I'm going to do is try to get that ground turkey feeling. So I'm just going to be crumbling it straight into my pan. This is actually a great substitute for scrambled eggs as well. My first experience with tofu scrambled eggs, I actually didn't know it was tofu. I thought it was real eggs. Tofu also, like I said, this was $1.50 and it's plain. It has literally no flavor. So it's a great thing to add into smoothies as well, like a chocolate smoothie. You can put it in fruit smoothies. There's a ton of things you can do with it. And it's really affordable and it's high in protein and it's got our good fats in it as well. Once we switch out of this view, and we'll put a PowerPoint up that shows how we edit the recipe to make sure that it's still meeting the same nutrition guidelines that's necessary. So while that is cooking up, it's going to be about 4 minutes. I'm going to send things over to Amber to maybe show us our PowerPoint.
Perfect. Thanks, Brigid.
Yeah, and I just, Brigid, what kind of tofu are you using today?
I'm sorry?
What kind of tofu is that?
Oh, it's firm.
Firm. Yes. So that's what I was going to mention is with CACFP crediting. If you are trying to get reimbursement for this, you want to make sure you're using the firm tofu. The silken tofu is not creditable. And unfortunately, tofu isn't creditable if you are blending it into something like a smoothie or a soup, because CACFP wants to be able to see it as a meat alternate. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But let's switch over to the recipe just so we can take a look at it. And we can show you kind of how we figured out how to substitute tofu. So the idea here is that right now, meat can be hard to find or can be extra expensive. So we're showing how you can use a recipe that you maybe perhaps make all the time, but use tofu instead. So there's different ways. And we also showed you here how you can use lentils as well. This recipe already calls for some beans and turkey. And to make sure that we get the proper amount, we want to look at the serving size of the recipe, which it serves 8, and then figure out, I will show you a chart in a bit that shows you how to figure it out. But for 8 children, ages 3 to 5, we need the equivalent here of 3/8 of a cup of cooked beans or lentils per child, or 3.3 ounces of tofu per child, or a combination of the two. So we kind of did the math there and figured out, and that's how we figured out what to substitute in this recipe. And it's all based on a Cacfp chart that is available that we will link to as well. And actually, I'll just give you a peek of that right now while Brigid is cooking that up. This is what that chart looks like. So you'll see that it has the ages broken out for serving size, and then the various products that fall within the meat and meat alternate category. And just as a reminder, meat and meat alternates are required meal component for lunch and supper. So you'll want to make sure you have those. And also just a good thing to remember is that beans and peas and lentils can also be considered a vegetable component, but they cannot be both. So when you're going through some of these calculations, you want to make sure that you know how you are crediting it. So if you want to use it as a vegetable, if you're using lentils and you want to use them as a vegetable, you can't also use them as a meat alternate. So yes, we will link to this chart, which I think is really helpful to take a look at.
Perfect.
And then I think maybe we can see how things are going with the recipe as well.
All right.
Absolutely. So tofu I've got on high heat to cook it, and then I'm following the rest of the recipe as is, which was to take either a carrot or a zucchini or a sweet potato and grate it. I used a paper towel to once again get that extra moisture out. And I'm going to throw the zucchini in there as well. Zucchini grated like this is so awesome because it kind of just disappears in here. You get little flecks of green, but nothing that kids are going to be afraid of. But you know all those extra nutrients are there. And you'll notice I did not peel the zucchini. I simply used a box grater and grated it up. Then I've got my beans. I poured them through a colander and gave them a rinse. I'm going to put the beans in there as well. We made our own taco seasoning here. All of these ingredients are listed on that turkey taco recipe. We have chili powder, black pepper, garlic powder, salt, and oregano. And I'm going to put all that in there. If there are some other things that you are interested in using spice-wise, you can definitely change things up, but we're going to mix that all together. And then lastly, just a can of crushed tomatoes. I'm going to put about half of it, so I'm making it just a little bit less than what the recipe calls for. Actually, I'm going to send it all. And then you pretty much want to mix it up and let that extra liquid from, the vegetables and the tomatoes cook off a bit. And meanwhile, you've got your taco shells or tortillas in the oven warming up. And that is simple as that. It's a really quick recipe, super tasty, really nutrient rich. And once I grab my taco shell out, all I'm going to do is put a small scoop in the bottom And then I've got a little bit of lettuce here that I can put on top and a little bit of grated cheese. I love letting kids put their taco together themselves. It's a way for them to kind of be a little bit more hands-on, which I think is why tacos are so fun. But that's it. Tofu tacos with beans and zucchini.
So easy. That looks delicious.
Yeah.
This is definitely one of our favorite recipes whenever I teach kids classes with the families. Kids tend to love this. It's also really great because not only can you substitute the meat, but you can also substitute with whatever vegetables you have on hand. So Brigid used the zucchini in this case. It's really good with sweet potatoes. I think sweet potatoes are my favorite to grate in. Carrots, anything like that. And that's also another way of getting kids involved is you can ask them like, oh, what should we put in the tacos? Should we put in carrots, zucchini, what's coming from the garden if you're doing it in the summertime and you have a garden. So it's a great recipe to swap things in and out.
And that's awesome. I honestly have never had tofu before personally, so I didn't know that there was no taste to that. So for any picky eaters with kids, you can add tofu to kind of enhance other tastes or other flavors of the other ingredients involved without having to kind of source that meat for both availability and price. That's awesome. I've learned a ton.
Yeah, and tofu, I think anything, especially if you're going to use a ground meat, it's really easy to use tofu in place. But it's also great just as an ingredient to get used to. We wanted to offer this as something that's somewhat familiar. We eat tacos, and you really can use it like ground meat. But I actually have a couple other recipes because we know that using some of these meat alternates is a little intimidating. And so we wanted to make sure to offer some resources. So first, the Cacfp page from the USDA site has some really great meat alternate recipes. So you see here, there's a Chinese style vegetables with tofu. So this is using tofu just as tofu in a stir fry. That's, again, you're going to be able to swap out vegetables with that one. There's also some recipes here that highlight beans that we can use as our meat alternates. And so the site is there, and we'll include the link for that as well. And then we actually just launched a new updated Cooking Matters website, which you can see a snapshot here. And it has a recipe finder, which now has a place where you can filter out the Cacfp approved recipes. So when you filter that out, it'll show you a recipe. And then at the very bottom, it'll show you how it is credited with Cacfp. So whether it covers a meat component or a vegetable component. But we have a lot of great recipes on that site that are also highlights meat alternates. Like we have a barley recipe with lentils that is really delicious. That is Cacfp approved as well.
Awesome.
Brigid, do you have any other favorite bean or lentil recipes on the Cooking Matters site?
I actually, I love lentils. My mother always made lentils growing up. It's definitely one of my favorite vegetable, based proteins. We have a shepherd's pie recipe. And if anyone has never had shepherd's pie with lentils, I highly, highly recommend it. It doesn't seem like it would work, but it works really, really well. And then lentils in these tacos as well, I think would be really delicious.
Yeah, I've done lentils in the tacos and it works really well. I've even had some kids that say they prefer it over the ground meat. So,
oh, wow.
It's fun to try these things, and to see what you can even do a taste test, and have kids try it out and tell you what
their preference. Yeah, absolutely.
And experiment with toppings too.
Mm-hmm.
Very hands-on and interactive for them. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
All right. So we covered those. Yeah, the food program crediting. Thank you, Amber, for that. So where can we direct anyone who's watching with questions in order to go to learn more about this?
Yeah, so I would definitely check with your local Cacfp representatives, especially if you have very specific questions about how to use those meat alternates.
Sure.
Which you can find those at the Cacfp site. I'm sure most of you are already familiar with who your representative is. But again, going back to that USDA website as well to look at those recipes. But there's a ton of resources out there for using meat alternates. And then we also have some additional Cooking Matters trainings coming up that can walk you through some of this. We actually do have, coming up in March, we have a Choosing Healthy Foods for Kids session where we will have a CACFP guest speaker that will discuss whole grain requirements. So different than meat alternates, but we will have a CACFP expert there to answer some questions about grain ounce equivalents. And then you'll see here some of the other sessions that we have coming up as well. And these are all on the Colorado Shines PDIS site where you can log in and find those to register there.
Perfect. And I'll include links to everything that we had sent over as well. Awesome.
Great.
Thank you both so much. We'll just wrap up. If there's any other additional thoughts from either of you about the recipe or just in general with some tips about meat substituting today, the floor is open.
I think just to feel, start somewhere familiar if you're using meat alternates. Even just using beans more. I think we're all pretty familiar with beans, but sometimes we use them as a side or just, like a portion of a meal when really they could be the highlight of a meal. So maybe if this is brand new to you, just start by, incorporating more beans or using beans as that meat alternate is kind of a familiar way to start before diving into maybe some things that you haven't used before.
Gotcha. Yeah, trying new things, never a bad thing to do.
And don't forget your grains. There's a lot of grains out there like quinoa, which is a complete protein. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you both so much. That's all I've got for you today. I'm going to maybe go make some tacos of my own right now. I'm super excited. Thank you both so much. We'll see everyone next time. Have a good day.
Thanks.